Hello students, welcome back to online learning. Standard 10, Subject English, Chapter 2.1, Animals by Walt Whitman. Animals, co-partners of man, an indispensable part of our ecological system. Animals are lonely people's wonderful companions, and yet we humans take ourselves to be the peak of evolution and aspire to what animals already possess. The poem is a comparison between the simplicity of the animals and the greediness of human beings. The poet, Walt Whitman, lived from 1819 to 1892. He was an American poet, essayist, and journalist. He was a nonconformist, which means a person who does not follow the unreasonable norms of society. This is reflected in his poem Animals, which is written in free verse. That is, it does not contain any rhyme or meter. He shares with us his observation about man and animals through this poem. Let us listen to a model reading of the poem.
I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them?
Let us go through the poem once again, children. Animals by Walt Whitman. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? To understand this poem, what is a poet's wish and how do animals appear to the poet? In this poem, the poet tells us that he admires animals more than human beings. He says he likes the company of animals because they are peaceful. and self-contented. Self-contented means not complaining, happy with whatever situation they are. He wants to live with them and experience a life where no one either complains about their conditions or weeps at their sins. Sins are evil deeds. Humans lie awake at night and cry for the sins they have committed. Animals are quite happy. They don't idle away their time for discussing their duties to God like human beings. He observes that humans don't have those qualities which animals possess, such as signs of love, quietness, kindness, selflessness, honesty, patience, sympathy, etc. These qualities are absolutely essential for a bright life. So he says human beings are slowly depriving themselves of all these good qualities, and that we should learn from animals because they are not dissatisfied. They are not demented. Demented means they don't have an irrational behavior towards being materialistic and owning things. They are not crazy about owning things. They do not possess any kind of falsehood. The poet is much amazed at their quality. He desires to earn them though he had left them carelessly. He feels that life of a man is full of stress, depression, anxiety, and unhappiness. So he desires to turn away from living with other humans. He wants to live in the company of animals for good because he thinks that he will get real happiness among animals. After all, he desires to make a relationship with animals because they do not trouble him. They do not trouble him by discussing their duty to God. Sorrow as well as happiness are equal to them. They are completely satisfied and are not into the mad race of accumulating materialistic things as humans do. The poet says that animals bring out the noble virtues in him. Tokens over here means virtues like innocence, simplicity, and contentment. He wonders from where did the animals get these tokens of love and affection? Weren't we all living beings bestowed by these virtues by God? What is it that has shifted us away from these virtues? What could have happened to the tokens of the poet's self? The poet believes that probably a very long time ago, humans possessed all these qualities such as calmness, the lack of greed, the ability to stay happy, but they have now lost them by being careless. Here, the most important theme of the poem is not to admire how good animals are, but to compare humans with them in order to focus on the flaws of their nature. Students, with that, we come to the conclusion of this poem. Refer to the Word document attached below. Thank you. Happy festivities to you. Have a nice day.